Hi everyone, this is Mike Hamilton from Trade Easy Way and just taking a look at the market. So before I get going, today we have had interims on Convatec and BP, so we'll take a look at those, and then on Thursday we've got finals for Diageo, and Diageo has had a pretty nice move up from about 13.14 up to about 16.5 plus. So let's take a look at that one as well. Not a lot other stuff in there. Glencore interims. What else have we got? Not a lot. So let's move on. So on Friday we've got US monthly jobs. This is the dollar index, and I'm seeing a series of higher lows and higher highs. Actually, that's not that. Forget that one. But otherwise, you know, I'm seeing this sweeping up. So we've had a deeper pullback into support from here. I might just put the technicals back. So we're right on the trend line here. If we break this low, then expect us to wander back down over time to 95.5. If we hold this, and that is a short-term buy signal on this trend line. If we subsequently get above this parity mark, then I can see us winding back up to 105, etc. And who knows, maybe even ultimately back up to those highs. So dollar, as we go into monthly jobs, is in an interesting spot. Let's start looking at gold. So ordinarily a strong dollar could potentially drag gold down. In fact, let's look at this without the stuff on it. That's better. So we've got gold with just a 50-day average, and as you can see we are red on the average, because we're underneath it. But to me this is bottoming out after this huge run up here, and then a three-wave pullback, another run up. We just started jiggering around, but we appear to be basing here. So if the volume picks up and we get this close above 4100, we're currently just 40.48 here, 40.50. I think we can go back and attack these high, at least 5,000, and potentially go to 6.5 if that works out. If I put its close back on. I mean, ultimately extension will be 6,050 and 66.30. Otherwise, break these lows and we're going back down to 34.85 and potentially lower. Who knows? Maybe even lower. But I am long gold and looking for this to pick up and at least go and visit 5,000, which is why I'm long this miner, Pan African Resources in London. As you'd expect, it's doing pretty similar to gold. Very sweet run up to 190, three-wave pullback. That blast up from that didn't work, so they dragged it right down again. And here we are, just sitting on this area here, which dates back to November last year. So we could easily go and see 75. I'm long this one. Literally, this is pretty much close to my entry point. I've been in it for a few days. So if we don't start to get obviously back above £1, then we're potentially going to visit 75, and who knows, maybe even lower. But the price earnings ratio is healthy. Can't remember what it is now. Could be around about the 15-20 mark. I'll have to look it up again. But in the meantime, I am long that one as well. So let's have a look at the Nasdaq. What the Nasdaq does, the rest of the market tends to follow. So we've had this deep pullback into this April 26 area. We didn't quite come in contact with that. So we saw a huge buy signal, pull back into that buy signal, and now we are trying to break above this 29,000 mark with jobs just around the corner. So if we break up here and subsequently close above this 3,800, we can then go and find 32, 33,000. If we fail to get above 30,000, then expect some deeper pullbacks and potentially all the way back down to this 22.70. We've come a long way. So I mean, even 24.5, 25 would be still within this bull range. You know, a bullish pullback, because that would take us back into the ambush area. So yeah, we're attempting to get above here. Let's see if let's see if it's sustainable. What I think is going to happen. I think as we come out of the summer and head towards the midterms, I think this is going to get more volatile. Typically, September, October is potentially the most volatile time of the year. So I'm not expecting this to recover up here, but in the meantime, you know, the pattern is bullish. But if we turn around and close underneath this 29,000, then I expect a much deeper pullback. All right, some of the price earnings ratios in some of these stocks is just unbelievably high. You know, we're talking about 200-300 still after this deep pullback. Hence my thoughts that could still need a deeper pullback. Stocks I like, this is SSP Group. I'm not in this. I have been in and out of it, but this dropped back into early May down there at 145. So I was in it up until can't remember now, but I'm not in this little run here. If we close above 210, then we're going to see 230, 250 pretty quick. In fact, that 245 would take us back to December 23. SSP Group, they own a lot of the top brands in the airport concourses, so your Krusty Breads or whatever they call them, all the food outlets. A lot of them are, the big franchises are under this SSP Group. So cyclically, this is a good stock to be in, because of course we are in peak holiday season. And this typically pulls back in winter, so I will be keeping a keen eye on this for pullbacks this winter. Now, if you look at EasyJet, so we almost touched 690, pulled back to 560. Anyway, it's too late. If you're in on this extension reversal, great, 340, sit tight for it, otherwise leave it alone because it's under bids. Right, other stocks I like. See, the banks have been on a great run. So not so long ago, this was down here at 11.15. We've just recently seen 16. This is HSBC in London. So any pullback to about just under the 15 mark could be a good place to buy. If we now go and look at the others, well, let's look at a small niche bank, Shawbrook. This has been on a little run into 370, down there from 288. Any pullback to £3 I think is potentially buyable. Volume is dropping off, so I think we might see some deeper pullbacks on this one before this is gonna run. But longer term, I'm looking for £4 plus. And at some stage it's going to move back to £5. I don't quite know at this stage how long it's going to take. It was up there in February this year, so who knows, we might end the year up there if things work out. So here's Diageo with finals on Thursday. Very sweet move off of this 1350. Bumped into that resistance at 1630, pulled back to support. So these pullbacks are getting bought. Lovely bottoming pattern up here. Just recently touched nearly 17. Longer term, I would expect us to go and let this go and see 20. But we might just, well, see a pullback into the earnings. Who knows? Other stocks. CTEC, they got interims today, haven't they? So we're back. We dipped already today into 217, 220. Here we are about the 230 mark. Looking for this at some stage to go and find 250 plus. We are breaking it out of this trend line resistance. So this is a lovely pattern. As long as that structure holds and we don't go underneath, we don't close underneath £2 at any stage, I think this could go peel all the way back to £3. Just a question of, is it weeks, months or longer? Who knows? But it is buyable around the 215 mark if we see it anytime soon. You may not see it if it holds up here and start closing above 235. So that's CTEC, Convatec Group. BT, I bought back into BT around about the 190 mark. I think it was around about there. Here we are at 204. Lovely pullback after that move into 243. If we can get above 210, 225, then I'm looking for 250 and a move into £3. Obviously close under 2 and we could see some deeper pullbacks. But this is a takeover target. It has been a takeover target for a long time, but it's got a big drag on its pension liability, which predators obviously do not like. But you never know, somebody might come along. There's some big stakeholders in this one, Deutsche Telekom and a billionaire whose name has escaped me. But yeah, I think this is a good one. But it is obviously a slug, very slow. Wix still running higher. Well, I say running, moving higher. Next stop is 210 if we can sustain this move. Volumes are getting low on this one, so just watch out. I'm just going through stuff I'm in. Central Asian metals. This is actually, I've been in this for a while, so I've taken some heat on this because this dipped all the way down to 125, 126 when I thought it was going to hold. Because I thought it was going to hold that into this May period, and we saw this much deeper pullback into June. A copper miner. So let's see if listed on London, let's see if that one can hold here and then start to wind its way back to £2.250. Talked about Pan-African. Let's talk about IQE. This is a potentially good bull flag on IQE. 42p. If this is sustained and we ultimately break out of that 45, 46, I think we're going to see 70p. And if it can really get some momentum behind it, potentially 90p and £1, 115. So this volume is holding up well. So I think this could be a good opportunity to get into IQE. What do you think? So let us just take a look at a couple of others. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking at. So in the US, I'm in this Pfizer in the US market, and if we can close above this 25, I think that will open the gates for a retest of 29 and a move above 30. There's a lot of resistance up there at 29, but so I'm just waiting to see if this can close above 26, 28 plus and go on a little move. If it really gets going, then we could see 34, 35, but that could take a while. Polar, this is a great dividend play. If Polar can pull back to 672, I will definitely get back into this. This may be it. So we broke up here in May and went to see 990. Here we are, just above the £8 mark. But ideally, I would want to see this back to close to the 7. So I'm sitting tight, but I'm just wondering if this is the pullback. Because I mean, to get in this from here, I'd want to see that close above 830. But ideally, I would like a deeper pullback. So I'll keep an eye on that. This is one that I would really like to be in, and I'm currently not. This is PayPal. So we gapped up on the 13th of July. See, not so long ago, this was up here at 94, and it got really beaten down to 40. But I think this is a stock to watch. So the last high, well, there was 82.5. Strip that down to that 38.50. So got really beaten up. So you can see, you know, I want 47. I mean, you're at 57. So I'm not going to rush. Maybe it's not going to fill that gap anytime soon. Maybe it'll fill it weeks and months later. Who knows? But I'm going to sit tight and see if it has a bad hair day and drops back into that gap fill on PayPal. All right. Let me know what you are watching. Otherwise, I'll leave it there. There is a lot more stuff to look at, but I'll leave it there as I'm already getting for 20 minutes on this. Hope that helps. Let me know what you are looking at or trading.